Who are Taliban and what is the continuing conflict in Afghanistan? I'm Arun Singh. I briefly explain in this video in next 3 to 4 minutes. Situation in Afghanistan is developing as we speak. Yesterday, which is 15th of August, the Taliban marched into the capital Kabul, preparing to take full control of the country. But who are Taliban? What do they want? What is the history of this conflict? Taliban literally means student in Pashto language, and they are an insurgent group. What's an insurgent group? A group which works against the government, which is a rebel. And they've been working to gain control since 2001 when they were ousted. So let's go back to the history. In 1978, Afghanistan was ruled by the communist government, but they fought insurgent Islamic guerrillas, Mujahideen. Now, there was a conflict between these two, and then Soviet Union came. In the 1980s, Mujahideen fighters fought Soviet occupation, and in 1989, Soviets had to pull out. Now, what followed later was a lot of chaos because several factions fought a civil war to take control. But in 1994, one faction, which is Taliban, gained popularity, and a lot of their members were from Mujahideen. After gaining popularity, by 1996, Taliban had gained control over most part of the country, and they imposed their strict version of Sharia or Islamic law. This meant citizens couldn't watch movies, couldn't listen to the music. Women were restricted to go out without a male guardian. Men were asked to have a certain look. Women were denied of education. They were not allowed to work as well. And then there would, public executions happening if someone would commit a crime. So they imposed a very strict version of Sharia. Now, coming to 9/11. That happened, and Al-Qaeda and Taliban had close ties. After 9/11, Taliban sheltered Al-Qaeda's Osama bin Laden, and US invaded Afghanistan in 2001. Then they were ousted. A new government was formed in 2004. Afghanistan got a new constitution. US provided aid for development. But all this while, Taliban said they're fighting for the illegitimate government. But how were they fighting? Where did they get all this money from? So Taliban makes money with opium trade, drug trade. Recently, they've been mining as well, and they have their own tax collecting system. Taliban entered into peace talks with US in 2018 and struck a peace deal in February 2020, which committed the US to withdraw its troops while preventing the Taliban from attacking the US forces. In the end, what is it that Taliban wants? Well, they want Sharia to be imposed, although they have promised it to the world that they will allow women to have equal rights. Only 4 countries recognized Taliban when it was last in power, which is Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Turkmenistan. Very recently, Taliban took over the presidential palace and said it soon plans to declare a new Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. Hours earlier, American-backed President Ashraf Ghani had fled the country, and we are seeing some desperate scenes coming out from the Afghanistan airport where citizens are trying to flee the country. That's all I had for this video. I'm Arun Singh. It's goodbye from my side.